We are going to Livingstonia. That is the place where Livingstone stayed, and we are told that he evangelized in Botswana. Only one convert was achieved, so that's where we are driving to.
Only one person was converted. Mommy. Yeah, what?
Absent.
You're absent. Why?
I'm tired, it's too hot.
It's okay.
Yeah, the place is too hot, temperature. Even the phones
Temperature.
are giving in because of the
phone
temperature.
literally said you need to cool down before you use it. iPhone users, you know what I'm talking about. You know when it's too hot and the phone just shuts down, like, no, we can't take this.
Sure, sir.
Dr Livingstone, a Scottish Christian Congregationalist and explorer in Africa, and one of the most popular British heroes of the late 19th century in the Victorian era. He was well known for spreading the gospel. David Livingstone was born on 19th March 1813. He died on the 1st May 1873 at Chief Chitambo's village in Zambia. Mary Livingstone, is this the wife?
Yeah.
Mary Livingstone was the wife of the Scottish Congregationalist missionary David Livingstone. Her father, Robert Moffat, was a Scottish Congregationalist missionary who worked among the Botswana. She died in Chupanga, Mozambique, in 27th April anyway.
Yeah.
27th April 1862. Read for us that one, man.
Because Sechele was born in 1812 and died in September 1892. He was the ruler of the Bakwena tribe in Botswana and was converted to Christianity by David Livingstone.
So I presume he's the only man
Livingstone managed to
convert in the whole of Botswana.
Yeah.
Because it's such a...
Yes.
It should be one of those Ginkosi.
No.
He's the son of
Oh, he's the son of
The monument we saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the water that I was talking about. So the place is called, and the river is called Bulbul.
So that is the
The
one.
abundance of permanent water supplied by the river attracted many warthogs known as Kolobe in Setswana to inhabit the area, and later the river was named Kolobeng. Furthermore, because of the hills for protection against intruders and fresh meat from the abundance of warthogs, this attracted the missionaries to set up the first London missionary church along the Kolobeng.
We wanted to see what is happening around this area. Some possible ports and other stuff. That's why he came across slavery that was taking place along those lines. So he was against slavery because here he found that a lot of the Portuguese were coming from the side going up to Angola, going to Mozambique. So they were telling me the local people, especially the Arabs, they're coming from that area.
Yeah.
So these people of this area, they were selling their people to the Arabs. So slavery was taking place along those lines. So he was against slavery taking place. And the last trip is the quest for the Nile of 1866 up to 1873. So he wanted to see the source of the Nile River. He was going up north. So that's when 1870 he disappeared from the English community. And they didn't know why Livingstone was here. That's when they sent this American guy called Morton Stanley to look for him. And they meet along with George in Tanzania. So when he met Livingstone, he said to Livingstone, Dr. Livingstone at the zoo. Because this man was
Dr. Livingstone, I presume.
Yes, because
in history that used to start, who said Dr. Livingstone, I presume.
So because this man was looking for Livingstone, he don't know where Livingstone was. So when they met, he said Dr. Livingstone at the zoo. So they stayed here 1871, 1872, and then 1872, Stanley go back home. And this man from here, the man was attacked by malaria. And then 1873 coming along this line, and then he died in Chitambo's village. Chitambo's village, Chitambo is a village, the chief of that was the chief. Well, he was the chief of that village. He was called.
we're going with the car?
Yeah, so we're going.
Yeah. The skies are so clear, there's no sign of rain. Ah.
We still go?
Yeah, we can take next to that is more.
So what's this?
This was opposite.
Oh, okay. I was thinking this is the church.
No, you can take here.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Did you say Elizabeth?
Yeah, that's the daughter.
Their daughter.
Oh, okay.
Elizabeth was the daughter of Livingstone. She died. She was born 1850. And she died in 2 weeks after she was born.
She died as a baby.
As a little child.
Oh.
She was very few.
So we're going to see the remains of the church.
Yes, the first church in Botswana.
Awesome people, this is the place where the gospel message was first spread. This is where David Livingstone built the first church in Botswana.
Ivory was killed out of elephants and
So where was Shechere based at that
the
time?
church was based next to the hilltop.
Or next to the hill church?
This is where the village was. This is where the mission was.
Is it closer here?
What was that?
The Sechele?
Seychelles was living next to the
Next to the hills that
next
side.
to the hill for protections.
Okay.
As you can see,
What are these stones for?
we see there's a lot of artifacts around this place. You can have some hand tools, some stone tools. There's an indication that before Seychelles could stay in this place, there were other tribes that stayed here before Seychelles could stay here.
Okay.
There were
To show
other
that they
tribes.
were using
There
these.
were people that stayed here before Seychelles could stay in this place. As you know that African tribes like the Koi.
Yeah,
They
the sun.
They were moving because of game. Because there is a lot of river there. Maybe they will come here for
All right.
go through
So now what are we going to see?
Now we are going to see the remains of the house.
Or the remains of the house
There was a house and I think that house was used as a clinic too.
as a clinic.
Yes, because as you can see that
So David Livingstone would come with medicine.
This was Chinese theology and medicine. He was the first one to practice Western medicine in Botswana. In this
Yes.
place.
I'm told so.
He was the first one to practice Western medicine.
In Botswana, he was the one. He was a doctor. He was also a doctor.
Oh, that's why he was called Dr. Livingstone, because he was a doctor. I never thought of that. I don't know why I never thought of that. So he was the first one to practice Western medicine here in Botswana. Now the medicines that we take now, the Panadol, Coartem, all of that, he was the first one. Because before that, people just used to use traditional medicine.
This is the house.
This is the house and I think
He used to stay here.
he used to stay. He stayed here for 5 years in this place.
Okay.
For 5 years.
It's a very nice site, and you can view the mountains on the other side.
So this is David Livingstone's old house here in Botswana. You can see there's like an entrance here. This was like his kitchen. It was a 2-bedroom house. It was well petitioned inside. But unfortunately, years down the line, the Boers came to destroy this down because they thought David Livingstone wasn't preaching the gospel and that he was just arming people with firearms. And then he also used to use his house as a clinic, by the way. So when women are delivering, he would help them. So it was like a clinic also. And here's a bench. This is like made out of stone. People would come here and sit, and also used to use for tooth extractions. Like the rock was used for that. So now we're going to see the graveyard for his daughter who died as a toddler. She was still a baby when she died. Elizabeth. Actually, they said on that entrance, they were talking about the zoology of this area and what to expect. So there's a lot of cow dung around here. Yeah, we are way behind. My dad and our tour guide are in front. I'm then missing out on the gist and the story. Kukonda my videos ni so child. So my mom is getting. We are still going. We are going to see the graveyard where David Livingstone's daughter was buried. She
Livingstone's daughter was buried. Her name is
Elizabeth Livingstone. Finally, we found some shade after a very long walk in the sun. So people can sit here and chill as you learn history. Here it's cool. Yeah, we're walking in the sun. We got tired and now we are in the shade. Okay.
He was born 1850, so there are some.
There are 3 graves here. The big one at the center with stones around it belongs to Livingstone's daughter Elizabeth. She was born in August 4th, 1950 and died in September 18th. Really, just a few months due to respiratory disease. On the east we have Alfred Daumain and John Coleman lies on the west. So this is the grave. Stones were put around. David Livingstone put the stones around the child's grave, Elizabeth. This is where she has been buried.
animals digging out the body.
Yeah, to avoid wild animals digging out the body. There were a lot of animals at the time. It was a total bush. And then whose grave is this, uncle?
This grave belonged to Alfred Dolman.
He was from England.
3.5 years.
So he was buried here. He ate poisonous fruits. Wow. People a long time used to die because of exploring, eh? And now we are grateful that we now know the right fruits to eat.
Another one belonged to John Coleman. That's fine.
Can I go closer? John Coleman. He was David Livingstone's friend. But did he know David Livingstone? So you see, this is David Livingstone's daughter, Elizabeth. And then there's this small unknown grave. You can see the stone, the rock here. Yeah. And then there's that one I showed you. Let me just zoom it in. When you see the stones, people used to put stones on top of the grave. So that was Alfred, and just right opposite here, there's a grave of Alfred's friend. When you see the stones just on top of those stones, that's where the graveyard is. That was John. So these two were hunters. They would come hunt for animals, especially elephant tusk, for trade as well. Yeah, so this is the graveyard here. Oh, the light. It's so hot. My dad is resting.
But not in a way. They just wanted medication from him.
Later on, they wanted to learn something. They actually wanted people.